Sometimes when you meet somebody for the first time, there's that instant connection. And with Adrian, it was like that. I'd moved over from New Zealand in 2005, and one of the first workshops I was involved with was with Adrian. Towards the end of the day, Adrian was going over a model that we'd done as an activity. He was kneeling down to see the model more closely. I looked up at Adrian and he looked at me. We just felt a connection. This quizzical look came across his face, like, what's that? And I was feeling, me too. That was the beginning of a far too short journey for us. Over the next 2 or 3 years, we worked together on developing programs for our teams. Adrian became a coach, a mentor for me, and more importantly, became a friend. The early part of our relationships, I was working as a room support for him. I could, look after the admin and help out with people as they were learning from him was the idea. But Adrian had different ideas. He thought, let's stretch this guy. And he started giving me opportunities. Firstly, just involving me in the exercises or helping to facilitate some of the sessions. He challenged me to coach some of the participants and help them through the processes. Each time he kept raising the bar and exposing me to more and more things. I got excited about what we were learning and how we were doing it. Watching him work a room was like watching some people dance, engaging people and involving them so passionately that people came away with richness from our training. It inspired me to attend his first practitioner training he ran in Hobart, and that began another long journey for me in NLP. More importantly though, Adrian gave me the opportunity to practice those skills. In 2008 we began planning our leadership development program. We were excited. It was a program that we both felt passionate about. The intent was to give us the opportunity to grow our skills and really make differences in people's lives. As we prepared the program, I became unwell. Mary and Suze from Impact Solutions stepped in and started helping. What's going on? Wonder why Adie's not here. And then got to the point where it was time for me to know. We had a coffee down at the Raincheck Lounge and we spent a few minutes talking about, hey, he's not 100% and wasn't looking great, but the program's going to go really well and you're going to be supported and you'll do really a fabulous job. He just carried on giving of himself for me and for us as an organisation. The first residential we did was poignant. We were conscious that he was unwell and he wasn't there. It was challenging, but not nearly as challenging as the second one in between he'd passed. Working with Suze and Mary over that period was just amazing. We felt his presence through the trainings and felt honoured that we could deliver his program. I don't know where Mary and Sue found the courage or the ability to keep going and delivering what they did, knowing that Adrian wasn't there to see it and to be part of it. But we worked our way through it. I have many fond memories of being with Adrian. As we got to know each other better, we discovered special things like, hey, we were born on the same day. I, of course, thought I was older because I was born in New Zealand and he was born in England, so I thought I had bragging rights. We both married nurses, and they are those special kind of people that understand us without giving us too much leeway for our craziness. We talked about fishing in New Zealand or Patagonia. We talked about people and how they could grow, and we talked about organisations and that whole of organisation approach that impact solutions were taking with both us and other companies. He was warm, thoughtful, considerate, and for me, someone who meant so much and gave so much. He used to comment that if you're a leader and if no one is following you, then you're just going for a walk. It stuck with me. In Maori there's a proverb, kua hinga te totara I te wao nui atane. This translates, the totara has fallen in the forest. Totara is a huge tree that grows for hundreds of years. For one of them to fall is a great tragedy. Maori say this proverb when someone of importance passes. For me, Adrian was a great totara.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It's amazing just how much he touches your life and continues to do so. Yeah. And thank you. I understand you lived next door.
I did, yeah.
So you've got a connection that's
yeah.
longer than mine.
We bought Adrian Mary's house.
Gosh.
The log cabin one.
Yeah.
It was just like an instant connection, friendship, and they moved down to the Huon, and then they missed Fern Tree so much that they ended up buying the house next door. So we had a really beautiful connection with Mary and Adrian, and then Mary and my friendship, like the story that you told about Adrian and the work that he did, because I never got to see Adrian in that light. Adrian and I talked a lot about journalism because he used to write for a magazine.
Yes.
A business magazine, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where we connected. What qualities did Adrian bring?
The first thing about him is his warmth. You know, he had that fabulous ability to just connect with people. He would come from a place of friendship straight away. He wasn't one of those that had to build trust. He was warm and open. He didn't shy away from anything like that. He had such a engaging thing about him, which was partly how he managed to keep even the roughest groups with him. I think it was just the genuineness, you know. He did care about people and he wanted so much to do good work with them. To do a 7 out of 10 wasn't good enough. You know, that part of the way Mary works as well. She's amazing. When I think about what she had to go through, just trying to hold together a business, a family, herself, just trying to find the time to breathe, to sustain herself when she was going through great pain and loss. As a nurse, she could see what was coming. In some ways it makes it harder because you know for the person does to carry all that and to carry her family, her business, her friends, when aside she'd already given everything. It's pretty amazing.
Have you read the book?
The book was emotional. At the same time it filled in the gaps, what it was like and what it was like for Mary and the kids. So the book gave me a lot of that information that I didn't realise. Gosh, when I think about the workshops she was guiding us through and having such high standards of wanting to make sure that we honoured Adie's work, you know, to do all that when she's in such pain is amazing. You know, to see her happy now, it's a blessing. You know, Chris has been such a joy for her, and to see her come out of that, through that period of grief, and at the same time still honouring Adie, it was just amazing. I feel so grateful, you know, with Adie and Mary, special people.